Hey, good afternoon, folks. It's September 19th, 2020. Today I'm heading to Williamsburg. This is the Williamsburg Road, and we're going to look at a property of 367 acres. I haven't seen it yet, so come explore it with us today. Okay, you watched us as we're driving in here and saw that big bull moose, and it's been a great afternoon in September here in Maine. We're now on the 367 acres. We just crossed the northern boundary line on the easement that comes in here. And you can see this is a lovely spot, beautiful view of the hills to the south of us. We're going to take a tour all around this property, look at some of the side roads, look at some of the trails. We're going to go look at Whetstone Stream and some of the little feeder creeks that run into that. I wished I had more time today, as I'll tell you, there appears to be a very large beaver pond on the property. We'll look at that another day. But by the time this video is online, we will have it priced on this property. I have not priced it yet. Pulling some sales and things, see what the market looks like. But this is a very unique property. It's out in the middle of the woods. There's no roads nearby here other than this one. There's no railroad beds. There is a snowmobile trail by permission through it. But let's go take a look at this together. And if you got any questions, look down in the links below here in the description of the video. You'll see the interactive map and a link back to our website and more photos of the property. Okay, we're about a week out from moose season, and there's a lot of fresh moose sign on this trail in Williamsburg. I've driven all the way to the end of the road, and now I'm heading in on an old skid trail. You heard me talk about skid trails. So I came out to the main yard, and I'm going to find Whetstone Brook down here. And that's where we're heading. Got to be getting close to the stream now, and I probably ought to be quiet. I might sneak right up on this moose. He's out here somewhere. Okay, I'm down at Whetstone Brook, and this has been the driest summer we've had for years. This is a really fresh moose track right here. I think it's the one I was following down the skid trail. There's still water in this brook. I've seen a few small brook trout trying to survive in here. They need some rain soon, which we usually get this time of year. And that's about the only motor sound you're ever going to hear out here is a float plane taking off over at Schoodic or Sebec Lake. Whetstone Brook now, and this is about 22 acres or so on this side of the stream. And as far as I know, this hasn't been harvested probably ever. Some really big spruce, hemlock, white cedar in here. Great spot to come in and stand hunt potentially, or just view game, whatever you like to do. Beautiful piece of land on the other side of the stream here. Untouched for probably hundreds of years. Okay, here's a good opportunity for me to show you where I'm at right now. The yellow lines coming in, this is the road system that I drove to get in here, and my truck is parked about here right now, and I've walked these trails down. And what I was saying earlier, the stream is right here. You can see it crossing the land right through here. All of this land over here, it's highlighted. It's about 22 acres highlighted here. Really nice trees, ones you just saw in the previous clip. So we're right here near this corner. This is another side channel, one of the dry creek beds that I'm sure handles all of the flood waters in the spring, and probably has water in here until latter part of June into July. This area is known for slate, and there are many slate quarries in the area, and you can see lots of it here in the bed of this dry creek bottom. All right, I'm almost back to my pickup, and I found a much better trail to access the stream. And this is kind of, you know, live as you guys are seeing it, discovering this property right along with you. And so far, it's a really pretty sight. I think my pickup should be coming up here pretty quick, but this trail here would be there it is, would be the best trail to the stream, with a little tiny bit of work clearing out some of the bushes that have grown up into this old tote road. You could bring a four-wheeler or even a Jeep right down to the stream. And it's about a quarter mile from my pickup down to the stream. So this is the end of the driving road for full-size vehicles. For those of you who say you come to Maine, you never see moose, you need to come over here. I don't think you'd have to spend a lot of time. There's another bed right here, right next to where my pickup was parked. Didn't see that on the way in. But there's moose sign on this property everywhere. Some whitetail as well. It's a really good area for hunting, outdoor recreation with trails. This is the very end of what was the Maine log yard when they were harvesting it a number of years ago. Now grown up, looks more like a field with some raspberries and other bushes growing and trees starting to get back into it. So this is the end of the road. We'll look at the rest of the road system on the ride back out. Okay folks, now we are on the main road system, and that's this, I changed the color here. This is where it comes in from the highway. The right-of-way comes in. It's a nice 60-foot wide right-of-way. Most of this has been built up with shale, stone, really hard road bed. It's grown in a little bit, so it's kind of secret. People may not know it's such a good road until you actually drive on it. And then right now, we're almost dead center of the 367 acres. This is the road we're on, and if you look out through the front windshield here, you'll see it's a good gravel road. It's grassy, but it's good hard road bottom, ditched on both sides, very well built. For a woods road, you know, this is usually as good as it gets, and you could improve it if you wanted to, but really there's no need. You can't really drive cars in here. I guess you could, but I'd stick to the SUVs, or like I like to do, a pickup truck. Now there is still some timber left on this property. You saw some on the other side of the brook, and these are really big white pines. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get out so you get some perspective. These are beautiful trees. I can get pause for a second, camera lady, and get out and we'll take a look. Okay, now we're out of the pickup truck, and you can see this is a Maine white pine. This is where we get our name, the Pine Tree State, from. There's a number of these specimens all over this property. As you can see right here in this area, they left a lot of pine to seed down the next generation of white pine. These are really valuable trees. Once this new growth gets high enough, you're probably going to want to harvest some of those. And if you look back behind the pickup truck, you can see that there are more trees off here in the distance. This is really nice land for growing pine, very well drained soil. It's rocky in places, but extremely nice timberland. Okay, you can see that area of pine that we were driving through is right through here. This is that pine grove, and then the hardwood was more over in here. Something we're not going to have time to do today, folks, but if you call me and you want to come up here and see this, looks to be a pretty significant beaver pond over here. And this is a feeder that feeds into whetstone stream that we went down here and looked at earlier down at the south end of the lot. So call me, come up and look at this, and we'll go discover that pond together, see how big that is, see if there's any wild brook trout swimming around in there. Continuing on, traveling north on the interior road, you can still see more pine coming as we go up through here. Fall colors are just starting to come on. In another week to two, it will be peak season here for leaf changing, and probably I should watch where I'm going on this woods road instead of filming.
What happens when you don't use the camera lady?
Yeah, you probably didn't hear that. That's what happens when you're not using the camera lady. Okay, this is looking along the side of the road, you can see a lot of regeneration of hardwood and some young pine coming up underneath it. You can see it in there and between the leaves. We're coming up to a spot here if you like the outdoors. This is currently a snow sled trail. It's not deeded. It is by permission of my client that they have a trail through here, but if you're a snowmobiler, what a spot. You could come in here and literally drive your snowmobile for thousands of miles over Maine ITS trails. And this is the side road on the north. If you come over here 1 second, we'll take a look. We're right here at this Y where the right-of-way that came in and finally came onto the property, and the right-of-way ends here, obviously, because we're here. This is another right-of-way according to the owner. They chose not to use it. They found this one to be a better quality road. But right over here is the end of the property, and this is that snowmobile trail. Now if you look out the front windshield, you'll see where we're driving right now. We'll drive right over to the boundary line. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tour of this Williamsburg Township, 367 acres of timberland out here in the middle of the woods. If you want to come see this property, give me a call at 800-286-6164. We can talk about the details of how to find it and when we can look at it. And while you're here, give us a like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell so you'll be notified every time we do a new video of property up here in northern Maine.